Welcome to this exploration of the first chapter of Laozi's Tao Te Ching, a text that has captivated minds for over 2,000 years. If you're here, you're probably curious about what the Tao is, why it matters, and how its wisdom can speak to us today. This first chapter is like a doorway into the heart of Taoist philosophy. A doorway that doesn't just open to answers, but invites us into a deeper way of seeing the world. It's a short chapter, just a few lines. But it's packed with meaning that can take a lifetime to unpack. So, let's dive in, read the chapter slowly, and then unravel its layers together. Here's the text. The Tao that can be spoken is not the eternal Tao. The name that can be named is not the eternal name. The nameless is the origin of heaven and earth. The named is the mother of the 10,000 things. Ever desireless, one can see the mystery. Ever desiring, one sees the manifestations. These two spring from the same source, but differ in name. This appears as darkness, darkness within darkness, the gate to all mystery. Let's start with a bit of context to ground us. The Tao Te Ching was written around the 6th century BCE in ancient China, during a time called the Warring States period. Imagine a world of constant conflict, rival kingdoms fighting for power, social upheaval, and uncertainty everywhere. Philosophers like Laozi, the legendary author of this text, were searching for ways to find peace and harmony in such chaos. Taoism, the philosophy behind the Tao Te Ching, offered a radical alternative to the rigid structures of society. Unlike Confucianism, which emphasized rules, duties, and social order, Taoism looked to the natural world, to the flow of rivers, and the stillness of mountains for wisdom. The Tao, often translated as the way, is the core of this philosophy, but as we'll see, it's not a way you can map out or follow like a set of instructions. It's something far more elusive. Now, let's take the first line. The Tao that can be spoken is not the eternal Tao. Right away, Laozi is challenging us. He's saying that the moment you try to describe the Tao, you've already missed it. The Tao is the ultimate reality, the source of everything, life, the universe, the very fabric of existence. But words are limited. They break things into pieces, big, small, good, bad, you, me. The Tao, though, is whole. It's beyond categories, beyond labels. Imagine trying to describe the feeling of standing under a starry sky or the moment you first fell in love. Words get you close, but they never fully capture it. The Tao is like that, except it's the essence of everything. Laozi's point is that the eternal Tao, the true infinite reality, can't be boxed into language. This is a humbling start. In our modern world, we love definitions. We label everything. Our jobs, our identities, our goals. But Laozi says, hold on. The deepest truth slips through the cracks of your words. This isn't just philosophy. It's a call to let go of our need to control everything through language. The second part of that line. The name that can be named is not the eternal name, doubles down on this idea. Names are how we make sense of the world. We name a tree, a river, a person, and suddenly they feel solid, separate, knowable. But the eternal name, the essence of the Tao, can't be pinned down like that. Naming something gives it boundaries, but the Tao has no boundaries. It's like trying to name the wind. You can call it wind, but that doesn't capture its movement, its invisible force. This line invites us to question our reliance on names and labels. Think about how we define ourselves. I'm a doctor. I'm a parent. I'm a failure. These names shape how we see ourselves. But Laozi reminds us that our true essence is beyond any label. It's a radical idea, especially today when we're so quick to categorize everything. Next, Laozi says, "The nameless is the origin of heaven and earth." The named is the mother of the 10,000 things. This is where things get really interesting. The nameless is the Tao in its purest form, before anything exists, before the universe takes shape. It's like the silence before a song begins, or the blank canvas before a painting. Heaven and earth here refers to the cosmos, the entire natural order. The nameless Tao is their origin, the source of all creation. But once we start naming things, tree, river, mountain, person, we enter the world of the 10,000 things. This is a poetic way of saying everything, the countless forms and objects that make up our reality. The named is the mother of these things because naming creates distinctions, and distinctions create the world we see. This isn't saying that naming is bad. We need names to navigate life, to order coffee, to write emails, to build societies. But Laozi's pointing out that the named world, the world of forms and objects, is just one layer of reality. Behind it lies the nameless. At the source of it all, it's like mistaking a map for the actual landscape. In our daily lives, we get so caught up in the 10,000 things, our schedules, our possessions, our problems, that we forget the deeper truth. Laozi's inviting us to remember that the nameless is always there, beneath the surface, connecting everything. Now we come to the practical heart of the chapter, ever desireless. One can see the mystery. Ever desiring, one sees the manifestations. This is where Laozi starts to show us how to live with the Tao. He's talking about two ways of experiencing reality. When you're desireless, free from craving, striving, or clinging, you can see the mystery of the Tao. This mystery is the infinite, unknowable depth of existence. It's what you feel in those rare moments of pure presence. Maybe when you're watching a sunset, meditating, or just sitting quietly, not chasing anything. In that state, you're not trying to get something or be something. You're just being, and in that being, you touch something profound, something beyond words. But when you're desiring, wanting success, love, approval, or even enlightenment, you see only the manifestations. These are the forms of the world, the 10,000 things we talked about. This isn't a judgment. Laozi's not saying desire is wrong. It's just that when we're caught up in wanting, we're focused on the surface, on outcomes, objects, achievements. Think about it. When you're stressed about a deadline or craving a new phone, your mind is locked on the thing you want. You miss the bigger picture. Laozi's suggesting a balance. Engage with the world, but don't let desire blind you to the mystery. In modern life, this might mean taking a moment to breathe, to step back from your to-do list and just notice the world around you, the sound of birds, the feeling of your breath. That's where the mystery lies. The next lines tie it all together. These two spring from the same source, but differ in name. This appears as darkness. Laozi's saying that the mystery, seen when desireless, and the manifestations, seen when desiring, aren't separate. They both come from the Tao. They're two sides of the same coin, just experienced differently because of our perspective. He calls this unity darkness, which might sound strange, but it's not negative. In Taoism, darkness represents the unknown, the unformed, the infinite. It's like the night sky, mysterious, vast, and full of possibility. By calling it darkness, Laozi's emphasizing that the Tao isn't something you can fully know or control. It's not a puzzle to solve. It's a mystery to embrace. Finally, we get to the closing lines, darkness within darkness, the gate to all mystery. These are some of the most poetic and evocative words in the Tao Te Ching. Darkness within darkness suggests a mystery so deep that even its mystery is mysterious. It's like diving into an ocean, where every layer reveals more depth. This isn't meant to be frustrating. It's meant to be liberating. In a world where we're obsessed with answers, Google searches, self-help books, quick fixes, Laozi says, what if the real wisdom is in not knowing? What if the deepest truth is found in letting go? The gate to all mystery is an invitation to step into that unknown, to trust the Tao, even when you can't see where it's leading. It's a call to live with openness, curiosity, and humility. So, what does all this mean for us today? Chapter 1 is a wake-up call. We live in a world of noise, endless notifications, deadlines, and labels. We're constantly naming things success, failure, friend, enemy. And we're constantly desiring more money, more likes, more security. Laozi doesn't tell us to reject these things. He's not saying quit your job and live in a cave. Instead, he's asking us to balance our engagement with the world with a connection to something deeper. The Tao is always there, in the spaces between our thoughts, in the quiet moments when we let go of wanting. Practically, this might look like carving out time for stillness. Maybe it's 5 minutes of meditation in the morning, focusing on your breath. Maybe it's a walk in nature, noticing the trees without labeling them as beautiful or ordinary. Maybe it's pausing before reacting to a stressful email and asking, what's the bigger picture here? These small acts help us touch the mystery, even in a busy life. Philosophically, Chapter 1 challenges us to rethink our relationship with knowledge and certainty. We're so used to thinking we can figure everything out through science, philosophy, or sheer willpower. But Laozi says the deepest truths are beyond figuring out. They're felt, not thought. This idea resonates across time and cultures. Scientists talk about the awe of discovering something new, like a distant galaxy or a quantum particle, only to realize it opens up more questions. Mystics from all traditions, Buddhist, Christian, Sufi, describe moments of transcendence where words fall away and they're left with pure presence. Even in everyday life, you've probably had moments like this, when time seems to stop and you feel connected to something bigger. That's the Tao, and Chapter 1 is pointing us toward it. As we wrap up, let's think about how to carry this wisdom forward. The Tao Te Ching isn't a rulebook. It's a mirror. It shows us our own tendencies to label, to strive, to control, and invites us to soften those habits. Next time you feel overwhelmed, try reading this chapter again. Let the words wash over you. Notice where you're caught in desire and see if you can step back, even for a moment, into desirelessness. Notice where you're naming things, success, failure, good, bad, and see if you can let those names dissolve. The Tao is there, waiting, in the stillness. This first chapter is just the beginning, but it's a powerful one. It sets the tone for the entire Tao Te Ching. A journey of letting go, of flowing with life, of embracing the mystery. If you take nothing else from this, remember this. The Tao is not something to grasp or define. It's something to live, to feel, to trust. Thank you for joining me in this exploration. May you find your own gate to the mystery, and may it lead you to peace.